We do love you, Leeds. Hey up, folks. Thought I'd jump on and do a quick live. Good news. Looks like Leeds United have put bids in for two exciting players, which is brilliant news. So, yeah, YEP, Joe Donoghue and Graham Smith have reported that Leeds have put bids in for Diarra, Bijol and Habib Diarra. Yeah, not at work, Danny. Not well today at all. Not well at all. But, yeah, I was just getting ready to do a pre-record little video on something else, which I'll do after this. But yeah, I thought I'd jump on. I've seen a few of us are going to go live, so it'll only be a quick one. But hey up, lads, on the Leeds Bros, Darren and Dillo, go check them out. And hey up, Callum, we love you, Leeds we do. Smash a like and subscribe, says Danny. Cheers, buddy. Bijol comfortable on both feet. He is just done a bit of digging, mate, while I'm on phone to you. But yeah, article just come out, like I say, YEP. Looks very credible. They're not going to say we'll put bids in if we haven't. So this is very exciting. I mean, the Bijol stuff's been around for a while now. It's been out there in the ether. So a player who, you know, I've heard about before, I've seen before, but not someone I were massively clued up on. So I've done a bit of digging recently, as we've been heavily linked with him. He's a player that can we get over the line? I don't know. There's some massive Italian sides in there for him as well, which will be a struggle. But we are in the Premier League. We can offer him a decent pay packet. So who knows? There's no smoke about fire. Like I say, we've lodged a bid now. I assume we'll be able to match for money. It's just whether he sets his sights on maybe European football and stuff that maybe we can't offer him compared to others. Habib Diarra story looks really good. I think he's got 4 caps for Senegal. We get to see him against. We get to see him in international duty this week, which will be exciting. So I'm going to be looking forward to that. He's a Strasbourg player, great player to be fair. Also very combative. I think the kind of player we probably need physicality wise in Premier League. So I hope that's when we can get done. Lockie said Diarra is class. Yeah, he did. Like I said, I've done a bit of digging today, and he looks one hell of a player. To be fair, it's come pretty quick. Milan are in finance list. Yeah, pay packet wise won't be a problem, I don't think. But 7 watching, 3 likes, getting liking. Cheers, mate. Yeah, 49 off working silence. I mean, that Diarra deal sort of come out of nowhere today. Will that be won the title pretty quickly? We've seen it before. Sometimes we're linked up for weeks and weeks, and then all of a sudden someone comes out of nowhere and bang, it's done within 24, 48 hours. So I hope that this will be one of them. But let's get into the article anyway that's been brought out about half an hour ago. So share screen. So yeah, Leeds United transfer latest as Whites make official move for box-to-box midfielder and giant defender, which is what we need. Leeds United have made moves for a pair of summer transfer targets currently playing their trade in Europe, Habib Diarra and Jaka Bijol. The Whites want to add a number of players to Daniel Farke's squad to make it more Premier League ready, and both Diarra and Bijol played top-flight football in France and Italy, respectively, last season. Diarra is a box-to-box midfielder, and the YEP understands that reports of a £22 million bid, first reported by French outfit L'Equipe, are accurate. The 4-cap Senegal international with 30 league appearances for Strasbourg last season, as they finished 7th in Ligue 1. Which is great season for him there, qualifying for the Europa League conference. Diarra scored 4 and set up 5 in the league, whilst Leeds are obviously keen to bring him to England. They currently rate a number of other midfield targets are more likely than the 21-year-old. So we've seen that already, haven't we? We've seen the Longstaff links and a few others. This one, it's the price for me, 22 million. He's 21-year-old. He's got pedigree. Is that too much money for Leeds? Are they going to be looking at someone who's Premier League proven for maybe a little bit less? Sorry, I think you could get a Longstaff for less than 22 million. But for me, the Diarra one, after sort of reading about him today, and seeing bits I've seen on YouTube, you know what we do as Leeds fans and us fans in general who maybe don't know much about him. We look elsewhere, don't we, to get our sort of a feel on a player. And yeah, that Diarra looks well exciting for me. As for Bijol, the centre giant back is vastly experienced for his age and a player the YEP understands Leeds are very hopeful of luring to the Premier League. Still just 26. This is great for me. 62 international caps for Slovenia and has combined 200 appearances in the top flights of his own country, Russia and Italy, currently playing at Udinese. He started 34 games last season. So again, 2 players there playing 30 or more games. So it's not a player you're getting who's been currently injured, recently injured. Sorry, they're coming with plenty of football behind them. Great pedigree. And I think it's that next stage when you're playing in a decent level in a decent league, like they both are in France and Italy. The next stage for me, evolution is coming to a Premier League side, and I think Bijol is someone I've raved about for a long time. I really like him, and I think it's one of them you look at, and if you can get him next to Rodon, worried about conceding goals in Premier League. Obviously, it's a worry. I think if you can get him next to Rodon, I think that gives you a very physical centre half pairing. You need that height as well. He's an absolute giant. The addition of a centre back would bolster Farke's current options, which include Pascal Strout, Joe Rodon, Ampadu, and Voba. I don't want to see Ampadu in conversation for a defensive role next season for me. I know he can be in there, but I want him to be way down pecking order. He doesn't need to be third choice like he has been previous. He needs to be fourth or fifth choice. We expect Voba to move on, as we've seen already. Leeds chairman Parag Marathi admitted at the end of the title-winning season that outgoings will be inevitable, as well as incoming recruitment this summer. And though Voba seems the most likely to depart of the current central defensive options, Stroud represents pure profit from a P&R point of view, yeah. Massive fan of Pascal, but yeah, you can't really ignore that fact, can you? Playing style, Diarra has operated as a box-to-box central midfielder throughout his time with legal outfit, including last season as skipper under English coach Liam Rosinha. Outstanding, like I say, such a young age. He's already been skipper. Goes to show you how highly thought of it is. And Liam Rosinha is a decent manager who's obviously who's got the best out of him last season. The Senegal international also featured in a ball progressing capacity for his country during last weekend's 1-1 draw with the Republic of Ireland at the Aviva Stadium. Can't wait. I'll be there soon. Leeds v Milan. And he's expected to face England in a friendly on Tuesday. So that'll be a great opportunity to get a good look at him. Hopefully not many other people look at him either, because that could be a problem if he plays a bit of a worldie. Bijol, meanwhile, is an aggressive, domineering central defender who carries a set-piece threat, which is what Leeds need, and is known to progress the ball with his passing range. The Slovenian international is regarded as one of Serie A and Europeans' most aerially dominant central defenders. And when you put Joe Rodon to that, who isn't the tallest, he wins a lot of aerial duels. All of a sudden there, when Leeds are faced with a very physical centre forward, Leeds have got plenty in their arsenal there to deal with that, having both of them players. So I'm very, very excited about the prospect of getting these two over the line. Like, very, very excited. See what comments are saying, because I've been on that screen for a while. 26 million euros, yeah. Reported about 22, 23 million quid. It's a lot of money, but we've got to be mixing it with that sort of fees, I think, for certain crucial positions. And I would say that both of them positions are fairly crucial. I mean, I've said for a while now that I expect Ampadu to partner Tanaka in midfield. If we're signing someone like a Diarra, that probably changes my way of thinking. I ain't going to lie. I don't think Leeds have spent 22 million quid on a player for bench. Although I do think as you thicken up that squad and you remain in Premier League year after year, you need to have players on bench who are 20, 30, 40 million pound. But maybe if Diarra comes in, you'll find Ampadu on bench, which will be wild. Diarra can play all three. Yeah, he's really good, mate. He can play 6, 8, or 10, can't he? But everyone plays smash alike. Go check him out. Bijol can also play in DMs. He's a really good passer at the ball. And like I say, great with both feet. Really good. The fact that, you know what it is for me? Like, we're linked. You can see Leeds are linked with very physical players. Like, we're linked with Souček. The centre forwards we're being linked with are all tall, really good in air sort of players. And we've said before, on stream after stream and content creator after content creator, we need goals different ways. I don't know how we're going to play next season. Is it going to be the same as what we saw in Championship? I'd probably say not. I don't think we can get away with playing as high with us fullbacks. We need to score goals different ways, and that'd be set pieces for me. That'd be, having 2 or 3 men in box who are 6'3", 6'4", and can get on end of stuff. Some goal, at Leeds United we tend to pass the ball that much, and we want to basically walk into net. Sometimes, we don't have many people who shoot from outside the box, so we need people in who can do that. We need people in who are dominant in air for set pieces, for corners, for free kicks. So these sort of plays we're linked with, it's music to my ears. To be fair, I'm really excited. And if we have lost 2 bids, which it looks like we have, the whole PSR sort of flip over from June to July, so it goes on next year's instead of last year's bunch of free years. This looks like it's bullshit. It looks like Leeds are prepared to spend big. We've been under the impression we'd maybe have to wait till July for big sort of sales and big movements. You don't get much bigger than lodging 2 bids like this in there. These are huge bids going in for two very talented players who hopefully are the calibre of players Leeds are going to sign. Hopefully we can get them over the line. Yeah, some links in chat for you to check. Get the flight tracking. Only 2 I've ever watched on YouTube was Raf and Saiz. We can make some good money on Strauch. Yeah, we can. We can make some huge money on him. 40k ticket sold already for Milan. 40. Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. Cannot wait to get there. Cannot wait. Bijol, just his pace isn't good. That's my only worry. Yeah, I mean, Rodon's fairly quick. He's got really good recovery pace as Joe Rodon. So, you know, I don't think you can have 2 people as rapid as each other. It can't be a bit spoilt there, can we? So I think Rodon, he's the one who's got that recovery pace, and we've seen it at times. He can get Pascal Strike out of trouble and Ampadu at times when he partnered him at centre half. So it's one of them where I do believe if we are in for this caliber of player and we can get this caliber of player over the line, then this is a game changer for occupying those, bottom 3, bottom 4 spots. Who knows where we're going to end up? We've all said we hope we hope we're not flirting relegation. We hope we're pushing higher up than that. And these are kind of signings that are going to make Leeds do that. These are the kind of signings that, I've seen people in group chat today saying, Kurt Zuma's on a free, and you have all these players that we know about, so it's easy to speak about. But you look at players like Xhaka, Bijol, and the caliber of the man, you see pictures of him, you go, you're doing a bit of searching, you see Diarra, 21-year-old with captain's armband on. These are players that, they're not proven it Prem, they're not. But you can see it's the next stage of their evolution, and there's nothing I've seen so far or read so far on these 2 players that would suggest it's not going to work out for him at Leeds. So I just hope the bids have gone in as reported, and that, like I say, these are the sort of players we can get over the line. Obviously, there's going to be, I assume with the Diarra link, I haven't seen anyone else who's in for him, but I assume if Leeds are in for him, there'll be a host of clubs in for him. And Bijol, obviously, we know there's some Italian giants in there for him too, but it's just about trying to get the right deal done. The packet you offer him, I assume, financially will be able to compete. It's just like I say, anyone who's got European football who goes in for any of these players we're linked with, it's going to be tough. But yeah, I hope Leeds have always had a good way of sort of showing a blueprint, how you can sort of make that next step of your career and come to Leeds, have a good season, push up that league, have a couple of good seasons. We've seen the Rafinha model, taking really good, talented players from other big leagues and making them into superstars. And Habib Diarra, he's definitely in that mould of, you could see him progressing his career pretty quickly. Like I said, 21-year-old to have a captain's armband on. He goes to show you how talented he is, and he can play anywhere in that midfield. So, yeah, I'm just praying that it's all right putting bids in. We've seen clubs put bids in before that we know get turned down. I remember Leeds United last season putting in a silly low ball bid for Hamer. Well, that just to keep the fans happy? Well, it just to piss off some Sheffield United fans when we knew really it was too low and we were never actually going to get him for that price? Are these, serious bids? It looks like it. If the sort of fees that's been reported are accurate and right. And yeah, just want Leeds to play, we're swimming in right waters, basically, aren't we? We're swimming in right waters. You look at the players we've been linked with, whether they're right or wrong. The caliber of player, I think, is right. The profiles look right. And you know me, I don't tend to come on here and talk much about stuff that doesn't seem credible. But the fact that these are players now we've officially put bids in for, I'm thinking, the Diarra one especially, that could happen pretty quickly, because it's sort of come very quick out of nowhere, hasn't it? So let's hope plays against England, plays a blinder, and then he gets over at Leeds and signs some paperwork. And seeing your daddy Firpo going, yeah, well, he won't be staying at Leeds now, will he? By the looks of it, he wants to go. Well, Betis want him there, and we know. I think he's been flirting with the idea of going back there for a long time. To be fair, we've always felt that was the next sort of club he'd sign for. It's probably his last biggish contract for Firpo. Age is at, so I expect Firpo to go to Betis. We saw him, he went to training ground at Lazio and had chats at Lazio, but I never felt that the legs there. I always sort of felt it'd be Leeds or Betis, and I think we've known that all season, really. But sad to see Firpo go and not sign a new deal. But again, there's better options out there for us as well, and I'm a big Firpo fan, and I'd love him to be our starting left back in Prem. I'd love him to have a chance, but again, we've been linked to players at that position. If the links are right, we're looking in the right place again, aren't we? We are. LAFC Passion West Ham are interested. A bid get rejected by Brighton for Diarra. It shows the calibre of the player. Yeah, it does. It does, mate. Like I say, we're looking at right places. We're linked with right places. We have been for years, though, even when Otto were here. We're looking at right places. We are. We're linked with under Otto. We're linked with Guardiola and all sorts of players, weren't we? So even under his previous regime, we were looking in the right place. There were links there, credible links as well at the time that we were really interested in them. So Leeds are really good at, finding this sort of talent out there. And when you're a newly promoted club, I do believe that this is sometimes a model you've got to adapt, and it's not adopt. Sorry, and this isn't what we like as fans, but someone like Habib Diarra, especially him with his age, 21, you bring him in and hopefully, he ends up being a baller that we all that it looks like he's got the promise to be. And then, like you say, you hope you can progress with these players. Tanaka's another one of them, obviously, who's currently there. Tanaka, championship player, outstanding. He's a Prem player in weight, and he comes over, has a great season. All he wants is Premier League football. How long can you keep them with just wanting Premier League football? These players, these talented younger players, before they want European football. So you just hope Leeds' trajectory is as good or as big or as quick as some of these players are. But yeah, Diarra looks a very smart signing. Balls in Leeds court. 49ers must know what's required to avoid coming straight back down. They learnt a heavy lesson in last year's playoff defeat against the Saints. Yeah, Andy, they did, mate. Like you say, it is in their court, and I've always said, mate, I firmly believe they'll get it right. Whatever decision they make, even if I'm a little bit like at the time, you've got to back them to get it right. They haven't done much to sort of make me doubt them, if I'm honest. The Bijol one, his age is brilliant, 26-year-old. The experience he's got in Italy, playing at a decent club there, I think that'll stand him in good stead. But like I said, the Diarra one is at a bit of a risk with his age and stuff. Sometimes you've got to take a bit of a gamble, haven't you? And just back that. You think they can transform that form at a lower level, lower standard. Still a decent league, obviously, as France, but can you do it over in Prem? It's a big ask, but do you want us just to sign people we know because they've played in Prem who maybe haven't got the calibre of this player? I mean, Diarra, is he a better footballer than Longstaff? Yeah, he probably is a better footballer, but we haven't seen it in England. So is it a risk spending that sort of money on him potentially? But it's going to have to be a little bit of risky business somewhere along lines as well. We saw it with Jorginho Rutter with 30 million quid on Rutter. Thought it was absolute turgid for the first 12 months. Didn't look like we'd signed a baller at all. And all of a sudden, give him a bit of time and look how good he is now. Look how good he was for us 2 years ago as well. So sometimes you've got to have a gamble in there. You can't just get sure things. And I think we'll have a mixture. I think we'll have a few. We've always said we'll have a few from other European leagues that may be a little bit of a gamble. I expect a couple to come from Bundesliga as well. And then we will sign a couple of sure things, and something like a Longstaff would be a sure thing for me. There's a few out there who you look at and go, yeah, we know what we'll get from them because we've seen it at that level. And then there's other players like the ones we've put bids in now, where it is just suck it and see. Well, is it a bit of a gamble potentially, but better value for money. And you look at Joe Bellingham for Sunderland, basically going for 30 plus million just because of his name. Just because of his name. Better value around Europe. Habib Diarra there, is he better value than Joe? Potentially, yeah. Potentially. So it's just about getting your scouting network right, get Lockie Leeds, sorting these out, which I think he mentioned, Diarra on one of his videos. I haven't seen the video, but I've heard quite a lot in group chat that he's a baller that Lockie sort of picked out. So if that's right, then it says all you need to know, doesn't it? Smash a like and subscribe. Cheers, Danny. Fairpool will leave on a high after having a difficult start. Thank you, Mr. Junior. Yeah, 100%. He's leaving at the right time, really, isn't he? If he stays at Leeds, chances are it's going to be a tough season next season. He may be then leaving, after that, or stuck in a contract in a place maybe that feels a bit negative, because we know what it was like before Championship season. It was quite negative for Fairpool. Now he's a fan favourite. He can leave on a high and go down as a bit of a hero, can't he? A bit of a fan favourite there. So I'll be gutted that we can't sing his song, because it's my favourite song to sing at Ella Road. But yeah, Diarra, 21, signed him on a 5-year deal. Yeah, it's got to be on it. It's got to be. Good point, Andy. They have to learn from the previous regime as well. We have better selling point as well in the 49. Yeah, we do. We do 100%. Yeah, there you go, Danny. If Lockie's raving about Diarra and saying he didn't think we'd go for him, he will do for me. Yeah, well, he didn't think we'd go for him. But we have. And it's, like I say, it's come out of nowhere. For it to sort of come out of nowhere and have a bid already lodged, it wouldn't surprise me if we see this done pretty quick. I know he's playing tomorrow night, so they probably won't be out before then, but maybe this week. Matty did Big Ange predict his own demise in his second season. Not quite. He didn't say we will win the trophy and I'll get sacked, did he? But yeah, left that bit out. Tajon Buchanan looks really good, but we already have right wing. So yeah, right wing. I think wingers wise, this, like I say, we ain't getting Solomon, I don't think now. Paxal, however you call him, I can't pronounce it. He'd be outstanding, but everything's sort of gone a little bit quiet on wing now. We're happy with 3 we've got. I'd be happy with Ramazan as a starter, just my opinion. But yeah, there's definitely one more to bring in there, probably on that left. But you say the right wing sorted, mate. We could always look at moving Willing onto left to rival Rama, and then bring someone into sort of partner, rival Dan James on that right. So I don't think they'll limit it just to left wing. I think they'll be looking at both sort of sides. Probably bringing someone in who can play across the 3, maybe even across the whole 4. But see how it goes. Really good as Lockie is, mate. He's when it comes to tactical stuff, he knows what it's all about, doesn't he? Yeah, I'd love that, mate. I'd love that. Like I say, mate, it's exciting times because we're looking. Don't get us wrong. We don't know about all these players unless you're locking, you do your digging. But as soon as there's a link, we all look at them. And just because we don't know who they are, don't mean no, does it? My sort of ball knowledge is very limited to what division Leeds are playing in because I just aren't interested in much outside Leeds. When it comes to this time, it's a bit alien to me having to talk about ifs, buts and maybes, but I do enjoy looking at the players that we are linked with, making my own judgment or assumption on whether I think they work. And I've always stated whoever 49ers bring in, I'll back. But it's hard not to get behind them, and it's hard not to get excited when you see the links and news today. Like we put bids in for these 2. It's outstanding. It's outstanding. Frank almost gone further. Is that a joke? Oh, Thomas Frank. Oh my God, yeah, Thomas Frank. Of course he is here. I thought you meant Fat Frank. Callum, Arsenal ready. Really interested in him. And rest in peace. Yeah, oh yeah, what a great ref, mate. Yeah, seen that today. Really sad. But yeah, that's it. Just a quick one. I know there were a few other people jumping on, so I thought I'd jump on and say my piece. I hope the links are right, that we have put bids in for them, and these are 2 people that get me very excited to be a Leeds fan. Very, very excited. There'll be we've seen a lot of links, haven't we? A hell of a lot of links. But these are the most credible to date, and the Bijol one's been around for a while now, and I tend to think we don't sign people where it's been out in the ether for a period of time. But I've got a really good feeling about these 2. Will Daniel Farke adapt the same sort of tactics in Premier League? I don't think he will, Andy. I don't think he can. I will just get exposed. We lose ball high up. Can you imagine Bogle or third post style sort of fullback losing ball high up in Prem? You're going to get caught on counter, are you? It's hard because he sticks to his principles. He doesn't change much. He doesn't change his style. But I do think it'd be very naive to think we can go up to Premier League and play like we did in Championship. I do. But yeah, this is where Farke's got to earn his money, mate. This is where Farke has got to prove he's ready this time and he's learned from his mistakes. But yeah, I mean, defensively wise, we were minting Championship. Was that down to us being defensively sound? Maybe, possibly, partly, but also down to the quality. You're not going to get, when you get caught on the break, when you get caught in transition, you're not going to get punished as much as you are at Prem. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. It really is. But yeah, already done it on my show. Yeah, go check Danny Talksport. I'll have a look at that, mate, when I come off here. But yeah, take care, everybody. Exciting news. Bid's gone in. Finally, looks like there might be a bit of movement and we can all stop talking load of waffle and speak about actual things that are going to happen. So yeah, take care. Look after yourselves and I'll see you on the next one.